Hi, I'm Chris O'Connell, Heritage Manager at Scottish Canals, and I'm just visiting Lock 15 on the Crinan Canal in preparation for our Winter Works programme. In order to install the gates, we'll need to drain the chamber and the basin down to the lock. Whilst we're putting the gates in, of course, we'll repair any of the masonry, we'll do grouting, we'll repair what's called the sill, which is a seal at the bottom of the locks, and we'll be very wary, or we'll have our eyes open for any nice, interesting historical artifacts that may be left in the silt at the bottom of the chamber. The advantage of steel over wood is that steel has a greater shelf life, if you like, a longevity. It's easier to maintain, it's more robust. The wooden gates, although pretty and historic in nature, tend to dry out if they're not submerged in water continuously. They'll start to crack and the planks will start to shrink, which means the gates leak and we lose a lot of water through that. This becomes an increasing problem, and it's hard to believe in Argyll and Bute, or here we are in Argyll, that there's actually droughts, that we lost water 2 or 3 years back, and lots of the gates started to leak, and the embankments start to fail, and leakage patterns start to increase, and this is definitely a climate change issue for us. So steel is a robust mitigation that we're using here. Now, this is such a pretty place, we've got to be very careful, and I don't mean pretty as a platitude, it really is quite stunning, and we have to be careful about how we design our gates and fit them into this historic landscape. Our canals are scheduled monuments and we're regulated by Historic Environment Scotland. You probably have heard me talk about them previously. And one of their issues, and my issue, is the setting of the canal. What I mean by that is that we will keep, you'll see on the lock gates, you can see the wooden beams. They're not actually necessary anymore. The gates will be electrically actuated, but they are such a feature of the historic gate that to take them away would be a real loss. So they stay. Otherwise, everything will look the same except for the gates, which will be steel, which these ones are at the minute, and they'll be underwater. The other feature to the basin is quite obviously the little lighthouse there. Technically, it's what's called an unmanned beacon. We like to call it a lighthouse, but it doesn't have anybody living in there. It's automated lights that operate, and it has a sister lighthouse or beacon at the other end of the canal in Ardrishaig. I hope this short film is informative and gives an insight into the heritage and engineering works that are being undertaken. And please come and visit us at Britain's most beautiful shortcut, the Crinan Canal.